really doesn't matter the amount. The thing to be observant is that sometimes that in itself becomes a limit. That becomes a part of your blueprint that says, that's how much money I can make. And it's interesting to look at that and see how that plays out in your life. Are you a saver or are you a spender? Do you manage money well or mismanage it? How do you tell what your current money blueprint is? It's real easy. Look at the results. Look at the results, okay? What is your income? What's your net worth? How hard do you work? Is your income consistent or is it inconsistent? Are you a saver? Are you a spender? Do you manage money well or maybe not so good? And are you an investor or are you not? And here's the thing. It comes down to, this is really not much different than a thermostat. If you set the thermostat in your home for 72 degrees, what temperature do you expect it to be?
72.
Okay. What if it is a really hot day and somebody leaves one of the windows open all day long and it comes in and heats it up? What are the chances of the thermostat sometimes kicking in and bringing it back to 72? Pretty good? Okay. If it's the dead of winter and somebody does the same thing, do you think it might get below 72 in the room? Probably. But guess what? Sooner or later, the thermostat is going to bring it back to 72 degrees. And the same thing happens with your money blueprint. It actually acts as a financial success thermostat. And the way that you can tell where it's at is typically with money. That's just the medium that we use to monitor it or keep track of it. Okay? Good news. You can reset your money blueprint to a higher level. And the only way to permanently change that temperature at your house is what? Change the thermostat. Okay? This is no different. We've got to change that financial blueprint that you have. Your money blueprint has to be reset. So how do you do that? Well, we actually use a couple of tools to help you to do that. The first one is a book. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Mastering Your Game of Wealth. That's the book that we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago. And why is this book so important? Well, the first thing is that this book was written by a totally unknown author, T. Harv Eker. This book went #1 on every bestseller list in 8 days, which is pretty remarkable for an unknown. If it had been somebody like Donald Trump or Oprah or something writing a book, there would have been no doubt it would have been a bestseller in a very, very short period of time. But for an unknown to go to #1 in 8 days was really a publishing feat in itself. The second thing is that there's 2 parts to the book that help create that success, because this is the first book that's really helped people understand what limits their financial success. And the first part is that there is a part on how your money and success blueprint was created. We talked a little bit about that. This goes into much, much more detail in the book about how that all fits together and creates your blueprint. The second part of the book is 17 wealth files, and it specifically defines how the rich think different from everybody else. And they truly do. And what the book allows you to do is look at those 17 areas and compare your thought processes to the thoughts of the rich. Is there a match? Is there a mismatch? If there's a mismatch, why? Where did my belief in that area come from? And more importantly, is that belief serving me, taking me to a higher level, or is that belief holding me back from reaching the success that I truly desire? What is it? Because again, how did that belief system get created? Was it on plan, or was it by chance? Interesting to think about that. Okay, I've seen people get profound changes just from reading that book, because it's not about skills, it's not about work habits, it's not how to network, how to do some sort of real estate process or stock trading. It's about the roots. It's about your thoughts and feelings around money. Because the inner things in your life and your thoughts are what actually create your outer wealth. So that's our first tool that we utilize to help you understand your money blueprint, get a better feel for it, where it came from, how it got created, and some of the ideas that are a part of how you handle wealth in your life. The second part, or the second tool that we utilize, is something called the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And they promise to do 3 things at that Millionaire Mind Intensive, which is coming up here in the fall. And that is first to identify your current money blueprint, so you know exactly where you're at. The second thing is to eliminate any mental or emotional blocks that are keeping you from reaching your full financial potential. And number 3, install a new money blueprint focused on success. Now, they're able to actually do all that in just 3 days. And they're able to do that because this program is different from any program that I've ever been to, because it is so highly interactive. You are doing exercises, you are doing processes, you are doing physical activities to create change on site. And as it turns out, that they don't just teach you about your money blueprint, it actually changes right there on site.
Are these exercises fun?
Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's good. And the second thing is that you walk out of there with a brand new blueprint set to achieve massive wealth and all the success you've ever dreamed of. And this was an interesting discussion that we were having in the beginning tonight. And that is that this is not about indoctrinating you. This is not about teaching you some new skill or that's going to change your life. What this is all about is releasing barriers that have been created over time in your financial blueprint. Those things actually act to hold you back, to keep you from reaching your full financial potential. And that the whole 3 days is around focusing on understanding how to look at those things, how to see how the inner things in your financial blueprint are affecting your outer world. And it's amazing what happens and the changes that take place. And we've got some things that we can show you tonight to let you understand how those changes can change people's lives. It is truly amazing. I've been through this program a number of times. I have the joy of being able to interact with many of the people that go to the program, so I get firsthand all the stories that come back. And it's exciting. It's truly exciting to be around them and to learn how their lives changed when all of a sudden the limitations that were in reality self-imposed are taken away. It's like a flower blooming. It's a beautiful thing to see. So the dates that are coming to this area is October 31st, November through November 2nd. That's 3 days. That is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is, if you'll notice, the 31st, that is Halloween. And there will be a special trick-or-treat event on Friday night. So it's going to be a great program. That is Saturday, Sunday. What I would encourage you to do, though, is take those 3 days and block them off your calendar. The reason is that it is a program that builds upon itself. There are activities and there are things that happen. There's awarenesses that you build upon over the 3 days, and you don't want to miss them. You truly don't, because if you want to take your finances to another whole octave, I would recommend taking advantage of every minute of the 3 days. Now, that is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think I mentioned that to you. And it is 3 full days. So.
From morning to night.